You ever walk down to your own dock and find 15 strangers partying on your yacht, champagne spilling, music blasting, and the woman who runs your HOA standing there smiling like she owns the place, because that's what happened to me. And I swear in that moment, something inside me just snapped. When I first moved into Clearwater Bay, I thought I'd found peace. Quiet streets, manicured lawns, and the best part, a private marina just for residents. I'd been working in property law for over 15 years, so buying a modest 36-foot Sierra yacht felt like finally cashing in on all those sleepless nights. It wasn't huge, but it was mine. My escape. My pride. My little floating sanctuary. For the first 6 months, life was perfect. My dog loved lying on the deck, the neighbors waved when they passed, and the sunsets made everything feel right in the world. Then, she moved in. Karen. You probably already know the type: oversized sunglasses, floral blouse, clipboard always in hand, and the uncanny ability to make every sentence sound like a complaint. She was the new HOA president, and from the day she arrived, she made sure everyone knew it. The first time she approached me, I was cleaning the deck. She marched up heels, clicking on the dock like a drill sergeant. "Excuse me," she said in that sharp nasal tone that could cut through steel. "Is this your boat?" I turned, squinting against the sun. "Yeah, it is. Just giving her a quick clean before heading out later." She smiled, one of those tight, polite smiles that never reach the eyes. "I'm the new HOA president," she announced, tapping her clipboard like it was a badge. "Congratulations," I said. I meant it, at least for the first half second. "Well," she continued, "I noticed your yacht isn't listed on our HOA's amenity roster. You see, any boat docked at the community marina technically falls under the shared space policy, which means during HOA events it should be available for guest use, within reason, of course." I laughed. I honestly thought it was a joke. "Yeah, that's not how ownership works. This boat's registered under my name. It's private property." She didn't flinch. "Well, that's inconvenient. We're hosting a welcome to summer party next weekend. It would really elevate the event if our guests could take some photos on board, maybe even a short ride." "Not happening," I said flat. Her smile twitched, and for a second her eyes darkened. "Are you sure you want to take that stance?" she asked quietly. "It wouldn't look good for you to be seen as uncooperative." I shrugged. "Guess I'll live with that." That was the spark that lit the fire. The next week the letters started. A notice that my boat cover didn't match community aesthetics. Another saying my dock ropes were visible from the walkway. Then one claiming my marina fee was overdue, which was impossible. I'd paid it months ago. By the fourth notice, taped right on my front door, I knew exactly who was behind it. Unauthorized private use of community dock space. Immediate compliance required. I didn't yell. I didn't even reply. Instead, I got methodical. See, I've spent my entire career dealing with bureaucrats who think their clipboard gives them power. So I requested a full copy of the HOA's charter and marina bylaws officially. By law, they had 5 business days to deliver. And when I finally got them, I smiled, because buried in the fine print section 8.3 stated, "Privately owned vehicles and watercraft are exempt from HOA control." Another clause confirmed that the HOA holds no ownership rights over resident-owned property. Translation: she had absolutely no authority over my yacht. At the next HOA meeting, Karen sat at the head of the table surrounded by her little board of minions. I waited until the community update segment, then raised my hand. "Karen," I said, calm as a lake, "about these notices regarding my yacht." Her smile was back, thin, smug, certain she was in control. "Yes." I opened a binder thick with highlighted pages. "According to Section 8.3 of our own bylaws, privately owned watercraft are exempt from HOA control. And under the marina lease I signed, I have exclusive use rights to my dock." The room went quiet. You could hear the AC humming. Karen forced a laugh. "Well, that's interesting. But surely you'd want to support your community, right?" I leaned forward, meeting her eyes. "I already do by paying my dues and not misusing community funds." Her jaw clenched. The pen in her hand snapped. She didn't say another word for the rest of the meeting. I thought that was the end of it. Oh, how wrong I was. Over the next 2 weeks, subtle things started happening. Random anonymous complaints about noise about my dog, about unapproved items in my yard. A neighbor I barely knew told me Karen had been hinting that I was a troublemaker. I started second-guessing myself. Maybe I was being stubborn. Maybe letting her use the yacht for one day wouldn't have been a big deal. That's the thing about dealing with people like her. They wear you down. They make you question your sanity, one rule at a time. There was a night I sat on my porch, staring at the dark marina, wondering if I should just sell the boat. I actually thought about giving in just to have peace again. But then I saw the reflection of my boat name glimmering on the water, and something in me refused. That yacht wasn't just wood and fiberglass. It represented years of work of discipline, of finally owning something truly mine. And I wasn't about to let someone bully me into surrendering it. Then came the call. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was watching TV when my phone buzzed. It was Jake, my friend who lived 2 houses down. "Dude," he said, "are you letting people on your yacht right now?" "What number? Why?" "Because there are like 15 of them down there. Taking selfies, drinking. One of them's literally popping champagne." I froze. Then my heart started pounding. I hung up and bolted out the door. When I reached the marina, I couldn't believe what I saw. My yacht was covered with people, dressed in summer clothes, holding glasses, laughing like it was some celebrity cruise. And in the middle of it all, Karen, white dress clipboard still in hand, giving directions for group photos. I stormed down the dock. "Karen, what the hell is this?" She jumped, startled, then quickly recovered. "Oh, don't be dramatic. We're just taking a few photos for the HOA newsletter. It's good publicity." On my private property, I pointed at the bright red sign that literally said, "Private Dock, Authorized Owners Only." She rolled her eyes. "Relax, it's harmless. Everyone's enjoying themselves. You really don't want to be that neighbor, do you?" That's when I saw it, a champagne bottle tipped over on the deck, spilling across the teak floor I'd spent hours varnishing. Something inside me snapped. "Everyone off," I said, my voice low. A drunk guy laughed. "Chill, man, it's just a boat." I took a step forward. "Get off." Karen's smug grin faltered. She huffed, waved her hand, and started ushering people off like I was the one causing trouble. I waited until the last person stepped off, then locked everything and took photos of everything. The spill, the footprints, the faces I could still catch. The next morning I emailed the HOA board and legal counsel. Subject line: formal complaint, trespassing and property damage. I attached every photo and included one sentence in bold. This was authorized by the HOA president without my consent. 2 days later my phone rang. The caller ID said HOA Legal Office. Mr. Davis, the attorney, said, voice serious. "We've reviewed your report. Ms. Karen acted without board approval. She violated multiple liability clauses by allowing non-residents onto private property. We're opening an internal investigation immediately." I just sat there grinning like an idiot. See, because of how our HOA's insurance worked, her unauthorized event triggered a liability review. And during that audit, they discovered something else: she'd been using HOA funds for personal reimbursements. Event decor, community engagement supplies, even catered lunches that had nothing to do with official meetings. Within weeks, the board voted to remove her as president. At the next meeting, she tried to play the victim. "This is harassment. I'm being targeted by jealous neighbors." Nobody bought it. Her allies stayed silent. One guy even pushed the motion to add a new bylaw. No board member may use HOA resources or private property for any event without written homeowner consent. I raised my hand and said, "Maybe add a line about respecting private property while you're at it." Karen glared at me, her face red. I didn't say another word. I didn't have to. After that, she disappeared from the spotlight. The parties stopped. The gossip faded. The neighborhood, for the first time in months, was quiet again. Now every time I walk past my dock and see that private property sign gleaming in the sunlight, I smile. Because I remember that day, the laughter, the spilled champagne, the way she thought she could take what was mine and get away with it. But she couldn't. Because HOA Karens can write all the letters they want, wave all the clipboards they like, but they can't rewrite the law. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. When people try to use community power to take what's yours, don't yell, don't panic. Just know the rules, gather your receipts, and let the truth do the talking.